So yeah, June has been a big month. It's probably now August that I'm filming this. I'm actually filming this particular video in segments for whenever I've got a free period of time to film. I'm just going to film and show what I got this current time, because I did just release in like the middle of June, near the end of June, a what I got in June video, despite the fact that that was at the very start of June that I filmed that. So now, to not say June anymore, let's say August. So let's see what's happened before August came in. Let's take a look on the shelf, shall we? So as some of you might know, there's a film series called Friday the 13th in Scream Factory, Shout Factory, did a big box set release of every single Friday the 13th film. And so a guy was selling Friday the 13th. He was selling them all individually, like just the ones he, I guess, didn't like that much. So, you know, well, he had the, broken versions, you know, they had a few discs that had some malfunctions, that had some errors or whatever. He was selling those ones because why not? So he was selling Friday the 13th Part 3. He had Jason Goes to Hell, which I'm never going to buy, so I didn't bother to buy it. And he had some others. He also had Freddy vs. Jason. I guess he just didn't care for that edition. Someone like me would already have that released separately like I do, so I don't care to get it. But what I didn't have was the 2009 edition. And so, of course, this is the Slim Region A version, which does come with the Killer Cut disc, which is nice. I mean, that is technically, like, it's the cut that you get normally, plus the reversible cover. So, Region A, I don't particularly mind. I could have gotten it for cheaper, but I did order it. Oh, it's already broken. How the fuck does that happen? Like, it's got... God, these acrylic cases are exceptionally, like, corruptible. It's just got some cracks on the inside. Doesn't really bother me. But it did also come with Jason X. This is obviously the little pocket that he got the replacement disc in, that he put the old disc in. So because, you know, it's impossible to get Jason X on Blu-ray in Australia, I was okay and happy to tip in an extra $25 to get it included with this, so then I'd have it. Because Jason X was one of the first to ever... Actually, I'll be honest, I think it was the first ever Jason, like, Friday the 13th film I ever watched. So, the only thing that was wrong with it, the disc, is that it's missing some audio when, in the best scene of the film, when Jason's in this, like, projection of the Camp Crystal Lake with two, you know, naked bimbos in sleeping bags, and he's, like, put them in the sleeping bag, and he's whacking them against each other, and it's meant to be them laughing, but instead, it doesn't have them laughing, it's just him hitting the sacks together. It's kind of humorous. I think it's funnier without the laughs, so I was happy to buy it. Like, for just one minor error, I don't mind. So that completes my Friday the 13th collection, because of course I have of course except for Jason Goes to Hell, because I have the 8 movie collection Blu-ray that was region free that came out a few years ago, as well as Freddy vs. Jason. They did actually release in Australia the 9 movie edition, which came with Friday the 13th, the 2009 edition, which I hated that it took like 7 more months until that came out, and I didn't even know about it, but I think I got it for a cheaper price on like Amazon or whatever for the region-free version, so I don't particularly mind. Still, it is what it is. I guess it benefited me now in the longevity of it all. But let's see what else I got. So I've been buying a lot of things from eBay, Facebook Marketplace, yada yada yada, and this person was selling on eBay a 3-set thing. Well, you could buy a whole bunch of different things, and you get a discount off the more you add to the cart and whatever. So for technically $2, I bought this, the Assassin's Creed Steelbook. Really nice condition, like no damage to the front whatsoever. Back is a little... I think it has like it has a few minor scratches and a tiny dent at the top, which you can slightly see, but given how hard it is to see the logo, I don't particularly mind. It is just a standard Blu-ray edition, but I have actually ordered from someone else's eBay the 4K edition, which apparently is much more attractive of a film to look at. And to be fair, I did watch it on Netflix because a friend suggested it, and he's one of those people who can reanalyze a film and say, like, oh, it's actually really good if you, like, separate it from this, and if you analyze it from this point of view. So hence why I really like Alien Covenant now, because, you know, if you look at it more as a mad scientist film over a scientist land on planet and slowly get killed in the dumbest way possible, it's more fun that way. I don't remember his argument for this film, but I actually did check it out on Netflix, and I really liked it. So it's not a masterpiece. I can understand why people don't like it. I'm not going to be there to say, what the fuck, I can't believe you didn't understand Assassin's Creed 2016. I don't give a fuck. I think it's a fun movie and it's a nice steelbook, and for a cheap price, sure, why not? And for like 15 extra bucks, I'm getting the 4K disc to put in that steelbook, which is not something I do freely. I don't usually put the better disc into the steelbook like a lot of people do. A lot of steelbook collectors will buy the steelbook, and if they already have if they like the steelbook, whatever, or in a year's time or whatever, the 4K comes out, like, great, I can put that 4K disc into my steel case because I appreciate the steel case more. I get it. I can jive with it, but I don't do that particularly. But I don't really have a lot of opportunities to do that either, so... I mean, I guess I do, but sometimes I just have the discs separately. Like, I got the Evil Dead 2 German steelbook, which was the Blu-ray edition, because the 4K edition had sold out as Zavi, yet I had the 4K separately, so I just used the 4K separately, so I can use the steelbook as a mantelpiece display. Anyway, I also got Mary Poppins for real cheap, because why not? It's, you know, given... I know I've got Disney Plus and whatever, but, you know, Disney, well, I mean, again, it was like $2 or whatever. Disney are not liking physical media too much, so I'm kind of trying to keep it in the banks. So I also got this, the Underworld Collection. There's a bigger collection at JB which costs like $70 to $80. It comes with a comic book as well, but it's like, this is a slim regular case, like just has every single disc, which also has, it does come with a slip cover that's pretty damaged, but I don't particularly mind. Underworld, it has the extended cut, the regular version of Evolution, and Rise of the Lycans, and Awakening, and then the stupid dumb artwork for fucking Blood Wars. I've only seen 3 of these films, I think. I don't know if I even watched them in the right order. You know, they were, I call it the sister series to Resident Evil. So I got Resident Evil recently, and I got this for like $20, instead of spending so much more money on it. And I kind of prefer this, like, again, I'm only really buying it to make a video out of it, because I'm going to probably do another Calm Relax talk eventually on the franchise. But I haven't seen at least 2 of the films, so it gives me something more to do. So, similar to Resident Evil. So I should do that in a whole video, rather than a 2-parter or anything, because it's only 5 films. It shouldn't be too hard to cover. Still, let's move on. What else did I get? Another classic marketplace. I got Fringe, the box set. See, this is what Underworld would have been like, the set from JB. So this is like, it's a really nice hard cardboard. Comes with, obviously, every season, which I've never seen. I've seen parts of the 1st and 2nd season, I think. It's kind of an X-Files-ish show. The only damage was that little dent there, which had arrived like in the mail, because I think it had that dent already. Or maybe it had the dent on the corner. I know that the person had mentioned and had shown a picture with it with one small dent, but I think that was from the mail. Nevertheless, I got this for about $40 posted, rather than like $118 from Zavi. So I'm like, yeah, I'd prefer that. I haven't really watched much of the show, but I've liked what I've watched, and I've always been interested to watch it more, you know, like I like X-Files, I like shit like that, so I feel like it'd be up my alley. I know I don't care much for the creators of the show. I don't mind J.J. Abrams, but I definitely don't like Alex Kurtzman. But it's well regarded, and given I like the person of interest, I figure I'll like this as well. So, if not, at least someone in my house can watch it, and we can all probably enjoy it to some degree. Nevertheless, $40 is a good price for a pretty neat box set. Next up, we have one I've been waiting a long time to get, which unfortunately has the exact same material, again, like the Godzilla one. What the fuck is up with that? It's The World of Wonka Wai. Now, I know this came out in America, obviously, like, at the start of the year, and everyone was going fucking mental for it and whatever. And I get it. But I only started watching Wonka Wai films this year. They had a few screening at Acme in Melbourne, and so I went, and I went with Dad. We watched In the Mood for Love and Chungking Express. Luckily, Chungking Express I was actually meant to study for class, which is convenient. I know it's all on the Criterion channel, but I did that. Let me just grab this stuff out and then I'll show how it's all packaged. So, I mean, again, you may have already seen how this is packaged, and if so, you can skip through it, but I've never seen all of his films, and to see them all in a beautiful 4K remasters, despite having a Criterion channel, it's all Region B as well, so this is how it follows out on the inside, which is really interesting, and how it all follows out on the outside. It's really, really nicely done. Obviously, if you've seen every single film, you probably get all more of the visual references and whatever that it's displaying. It's a really interesting kind of digipack set. So it comes with a booklet, which is where I actually put in the sleeve that it comes with. So these are all 4K restorations, obviously all approved by Wonka Y. They're all Region B as well. That's the reason it took me so long to get this set, because I had to wait for it to come from the UK, because I wanted to get the Region B version, because I'd prefer that Dad and I could both watch it. So it comes with As Tears Go By, Days of Being Wild, Chunking Express, Fallen Angels, Happy Together, In the Mood for Love, and 2046. 2046 was the only one of his I'd known about 2046 because Dad had it on DVD for a long time. I never watched it. I've seen parts of it, but I've never watched it. And I've obviously known about Chunking Express and In the Mood for Love for maybe the past 5 to 6 years. I'd say maybe at least since uni, so at least the past 4 to 5 years. And because of Criterion and whatever, but I never really bothered to get the Blu-rays, and luckily I didn't, to some degree, because I got this instead. It's very sensitive to fingerprints, if you are, which can be very annoying. I don't know why it's like that. It's just that kind of a material. I guess it'll wash away, doesn't really matter. But it comes with this very detailed booklet, which is really interestingly designed, because like each one like is like its own pocket sleeve, you know? But like it doesn't have anything inside most of them. So it has a whole bunch of different stuff. You've got screenshots from the films, but then you do have these little red slips, which come with shots from the film. Nothing on the back, just individual shots, which is interesting. I'm interested to see like if there's one from every film or what the deal is, because again, it doesn't say what film it's from, which is, I'd say, annoying to some degree. It's like, I mean, obviously, if you've seen all the films or you watch all the films after the fact, then you're like, oh, that's from this one, this is from that one. So, yeah, you've got As Tears Go By. Again, more shots and just a whole bunch of different things. This is mostly the essays of it all, but it's a really nicely done book, really nice detail. I'm trying to show this as best I can on camera. Got an image slipping out there. What are you? I have no idea what that's from. Yeah. Anyway. So of course then the big box is obviously the set that comes with all of the discs. So this does open up in separate, it opens up weirdly, because you'd think, oh, it must open up here, but it doesn't. I had to tell Dad that before he ripped it open. So here you've got your centerfold from In the Mood for Love. See, I know that one because I've seen it. And then you got this one from Chunking Express. And it opens up like this. It's not bad. I don't really particularly care much for when they're designed like this, but it seems to be well stuck in enough that each one is fine. Like, there doesn't seem to be any issues of them falling out per se. I do like how behind each one has an image of like characters or a shot or whatever from the film. But yeah, it's really nicely designed. It's very interestingly designed, of course. It's something very different, because the Criterion can be very creative with their sets. Again, I've got stuff like the Godzilla one, which is immaculate. But then there's stuff like, you know, the Ingmar Bergman set and whatever, so it's always something new. And I'm very, very keen to watch these films. I'll get around to them. It's one of those I'll get around to them eventually kind of deals, but I really want to see 2046. And I wouldn't mind rewatching In the Mood for Love and Chunking Express, because they are masterpieces. So, and still to come, we have Stop Making Sense, because I was trying to get it from Savvy and it wouldn't let me for some goddamn reason, so my dad was able to get it from Amazon. I've never seen it. I know a few of their songs, and Dad has been playing their album recently, so I figured, I remember talking to Dad about it. He's like, oh, have you heard of Stop Making Sense? I'm like, yeah, I tried to get it ages ago, but it wouldn't let me, so I had the DVD at JB Hi-Fi, but I prefer the Blu-ray. So, yeah, got the second sight Blu-ray from Amazon, and I haven't watched it because I got it 2 days ago, and I have been busy at work. So, I'll watch it. But I plan to watch it, like, with Dad at least, because it's quite long, I think. It's only 85 minutes. That's good. That's much better, actually. Because they usually have it at the Astor Theatre in Melbourne. It's a big thing. They have both stages. I think they have both floors open, but I'm pretty sure it's just the bottom floor, so you can dance to the music, whatever, like it's a concert. So I'm very interested to watch it, because I don't care for concert films, but I've heard it's the best concert film out there, so I'm like, okay, I'm down for that at least. Next up, we have another second sight. We have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This I will be showing off in another video, comparing my two Texas Chainsaw Massacre Steelbooks. It did come in a little damaged on the back, but I'll break it down in the next video as to what I think is the better edition, so stay tuned for that. Next up, we have what apparently seems to be a rarity, The Last Action Hero, which I ordered the Zavvi 4K ages ago. Obviously, it's finally come in. I'm yet to watch the 4K, because, again, it's one of those things, can't find the time. But it's a nice steelbook. It's a matte finish with it has some highlights. I think that's what you call it, where it's got some shine and shimmer, which I dig. Again, not exactly as a beloved film in this household, unfortunately. But I do have the Blu-ray, so my parents did just recently watch the Blu-ray. But it's, yeah, nice to have the 4K. It's a cool little steelbook. I do dig it. I like Schwarzenegger films, and I like the satirical approach it goes for. It's good stuff. Now, this one in particular, Indiana Jones, annoys the shit out of me. And not for the reason you probably think. And in contrast, I have one of my new favourite sets of all time, a film I'm yet to still watch, but I'm very excited to, because I got it from the second sight directly. This is Lake Mungo. My mate didn't even know about this, and he ordered it immediately after I sent him the Snapchat. He's like, holy shit, where'd you get that film? I want it. And yeah, he hadn't gotten this yet, and it was still available at the time. I don't know if it's when it will sell out, if it'll sell it by the time this comes out. But yeah, it's a very beautiful set. I know a lot of people have been going fucking mental about it. I only found out about it on Twitter. I'd heard that they were doing a remaster, but I didn't know much otherwise. But it's doesn't really actually say. So this has a rigid slipcase, perfectly bound booklet with new essays, and some interviews and whatever, and rare behind-the-scenes photos, and a whole bunch of other special features and whatever. Obviously, Region B. I don't believe it's anything other than Region B, but it is Australian, which is really cool, because not many Australian films get boutique releases per se. So of course you've got your standard cover, which is the same artwork, so if you give a shit, and it doesn't have reversible artwork, same artwork on the disc. Not too much to show. I'm not going to show off the art cards, because they're just the same images that you get throughout the whole set anyway. Like, it's literally the front cover, the back cover, this cover here, and I think there's another cover, but I don't remember what it looks like. But yeah, so it has a very, very detailed booklet, and I don't really want to spoil the film for myself. So yeah, again, obviously, my mate had to rely on finding out from me that this thing even existed, which I still find kind of cute. It's like, the fact that he's like, you're the guy I go to for all this stuff. And then I suggest him bluray.com. And he's like, oh my god, so much stuff is coming out. So you wonder why I just buy so much stuff, because there is so much happening in the world. In terms of, movies. So yeah, I'm very, very happy to have this set. And I'm very excited that I finally get to watch it. We've also got Godzilla vs. Kong, the 4K Steelbook. Really nice. I like how it kind of combines the two different artworks you can get for the Blu-ray and the 4K separately, which is really big, because, like, I think the Blu-ray is the cover from JB Hi-Fi is them two clashing it out, and the 4K is the two faces of them, which I dig. I also like how the inside disc work has, like, their paw prints, like Godzilla's on the 4K disc and Kong's on the Blu-ray disc. And of course the iconic shot on the inside of them punching each other in the face is a beautiful shot. Hold on, let me see if I can... Yeah. Good stuff. I think it's the same as the American Steelbook. the Best Buy one. I also picked up Nobody on Blu-ray at JB. I would have gone with the 4K, but I just figured... I've seen it in cinema, I don't really think it needs a 4K. Like, it doesn't have the flashy look that, like, John Wick has. It does have, like, the dark, grungy look, so it probably would look better. I mean, everything looks better in 4K, but given it would just be upscaled, I don't really care much for that. But they hadn't released any 4K reviews at the time that I bought it, because the sale was still on, so I was, like, at JB, and, like... Sale was on, and I was going out there on the Monday, but it came out on the Wednesday in the US, so they hadn't released any reviews, so I was like, I'll just buy the Blu-ray. It's $20. I collected 2 other 4Ks. I bought Assassin's Creed on 4K because I had the Steelbook, but I wanted to get the 4K UHD disc, and I rewatched it last night. I really dig this film. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I really dig it. Talking about films that people don't dig, that I got for $10 off marketed price, which I still got the sticker on it, is Monster Hunter. Yeah, I surprisingly like Paul W.S. Anderson films, like, in a different way than what people expect, but I do dig just monster movies and shit, so, you know, I liked it when I saw it in cinemas, and 4K is the best way to watch it, so why not? Again, also on sale. Additionally, I have had this come in the mail. This, of course, is the Birds 4K UHD Steelbook. Really nice front and back covers. This is the Zavvi release. Good overall artwork, of course, only the title on the spine there, which is probably, I don't even know, it's just out of focus, I know that. Oh, it's upside down, that's the way. You can also tell by there that, yes, there is a small ding on the left of the spine, which luckily hasn't damaged it at all, because, like, you can still fully open it. You still got the inside artwork, which is really nice, and the 4K UHD disc. I have not checked it out yet. In all fairness, I don't really care for the film. I just want to get the Steelbook because I like Hitchcock films. It's one of my... I've watched a lot of his films, but not all of them. But it's not one of my favourites of his. It's interesting, but it's not fantastic. But still decent for what it was at the time, I guess. So. And last but not least, I bought gloves for my premiums. I got the Film Arena for Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, which does come with the lenticular covered steelbook, which I will be showing off in a future video, so stay tuned for that. Look, realistically, there might still be more coming in the mail soon, it's the end of June now, it's like the 27th of June, so there's more than likely more stuff that's going to come in the next few days, but in reality, who really cares? It's July is very soon from here, so I'll just show off the next stuff in a July Part 1 and or Part 2 video. Mostly because the first June video I did was filmed in the middle of June, and now it's the end of June, and I've still got more stuff, so yeah. Nevertheless, see you next time. Adios.